The year is 2017 and I'm not using anything Ubuntu based. In Linux 2016, I talked about bouncing around a lot less than the year before and being on Ubuntu Studio for a majority of the year. Well, for 2017, I figured I would start working my way down the chain from Ubuntu based distros down to Debian and eventually into maybe Fedora and Arch, trying something different. So I got on distrowatch.com and I decided I was going to try something that was Debian based and not deepened because I wanted to try something different. I ended up coming up with MX-16 or MX Linux. The number is based on the version. You can check it out at mxlinux.org. Very simple looking distribution. It's Debian based. It's I actually lied. What caught my attention about MX-16 was the fact that it was also based on antiX or antiX, however you pronounce it, ANTIX, which is antiX is a distribution based on Debian that's really good for EEE netbooks, the little small laptops. And I've been using that for about 2 years, almost since the beginning. I've always stuck with it. I tried a few others, Ubuntu and something else that I can't remember. It just did not work as well as antiX did. So seeing that MX-16 was also based off of antiX and Debian, but more for a average laptop, that caught my attention. So there's that. It used XFCE desktop environment, and being straightforward about it was very uneventful. Was nothing special or much different going on in regards to how I used it. From installing apps and using the package manager, they had a really easy to use package manager in there. Their software manager, something, whatever they called it. The biggest difference was installing with .deb files, and one time I actually had to install an app from source, which was MX-16, which is a open source DJ software solution. It was really cool, and I think I remember seeing something like it in Ubuntu Studio, but I think the one on Ubuntu Studio was Internet DJ Console, and MX it had a lot more. Had a lot more options. It did a lot more. It was configured that if I bought any type of USB connected DJ hardware, it would connect and work with it, which is really cool. Thanks to the developers and the guys in the Mix IRC channel, it only took me about an hour and a half to install from source. I know, I suck. But besides that, using the .deb files, .deb install files, there wasn't too much different about it. It was very uneventful. So I think I spent about about 2 or 3 months on that, and then I decided I was going to find something else, find a different distro to work on, which I'll talk about in another one. But I don't have any quick tutorial for it. There's nothing special about it. Just simply imagine a Debian based distribution and the XFCE panel on the left side, or vertical bar on the left side. That's it. There's nothing else to that for the most part. I think I had an issue installing something. I think I had an issue getting my Lexicon Alpha audio interface to work with it. I think that was the distro I had an issue with. But other than that, there was nothing special about it at all. It just worked, besides that audio interface issue, which is a pretty big issue for me. So I didn't spend too much time on it. Didn't make any content for it. I was going to make a blog post, something similar to first 5 things to do after you install MX-16. There's no need. There's no need to do that, even for humor, I don't think. If you want to try something that's Debian based, you could try MX-16, or I would say check out antiX. antiX is meant for the netbook or the older laptops, but if you're curious, you can always put in a VM or use that as your main OS on your full-scale laptop. It's got plenty of options for the themes and desktop environments. A lot between the two of those, and there's a lot of options. It just works. It doesn't do anything special. So just throwing it out there. You want to try something different that's Debian based, getting away from that Ubuntu thing that is so popular. Well, that's something else you can check out. And also, don't forget, I also mentioned Mix, which is a really cool DJ app. That's all I got for you. Go live lively.